Good evening, my online family. This is Brother Reese, and I'm going to be talking a little bit tonight about you and God, and how is your relationship with God? How do you discuss things with God? How do you talk about your problems with God? Um, I know that for some of you that might sound like a simple question and a silly question, but whenever we have any kind of situation, whenever we are facing something in life, in our plans for life, and every day we should talk to God about it, and ask God about it. There are several people now that I'm working with, doing some things with, and I always try to take time to talk to them about the Lord, um, talk to them about spirituality, and about me being a Christian. Ask, kind of sometimes check up on people about how they're doing as Christians. Just try to share light and be a light in this world. There's so much darkness. There's so much evil that I find myself a lot of times just being naturally me and trying to tell people about Jesus and trying to just be a light, trying to, sometimes people are having a rough day. Sometimes people are just um, not doing well. And I thank God that He's given me a spirit of discernment to be able to see when somebody's troubled or in trouble, or be able to have insight into people, to be able to try to help them. And I ask God to just continue to give me wisdom in those situations that I can share His light. But this afternoon we're talking about, have you talked to God about it? Have you talked to God about it? Exodus 33:11. So the Lord spoke to Moses face to face, as a man speaks to his friend. So Moses and God were friends. And this to me is an example of how we could be with God, and how we could communicate with God when we dedicate ourselves to God, when we dedicate our life to God, when we sell out to God and say, all right, God, um, I'm putting it all on you because it's just me and you. It's just me and you, and I'm gonna lean on you. You're in control. I'm your servant, and I'm going where you go. And so God did. He had a special relationship with Moses. Um, Moses had a special place where he met with God. It was called the Tabernacle of Meeting. What did they talk about? So then Moses said to the Lord, "See, you say to me, bring up this people, but you have not let me know whom you will send with me. Now therefore I pray, if I have found grace in your sight, show me now your way, that I may know you, and that I may find grace in your sight." And he said, "My presence will go with you and will give you rest." Note the three things Moses asked God about. One, let me know whom you will send with me. That's wise, because people either add to you or take from you, build up or tear you down. You need to know who belongs in your life and who doesn't. God is the only one who can tell you that. Please, y'all, please listen to God about your relationships. Ask God about people that you meet, about people that is in your life, about your partners, about people that are about business, all kinds of different aspects. My question would be, have you talked to God about it? Okay. Number 2, show me your way. God's will, done God's way, according to God's timetable, always brings success. But your will, be done your way, according to your timetable, can bring trouble and heartache and destruction and long suffering. I'm telling you, if you do it your way, you get out of God's will, it can bring a ton of headache. If you do it in God's will and God's way, just following after His leadership, just following after His guidance, it's an easy road, guys. Number 3, that I may know you and that I may find grace in your sight. Here, the word grace means divine enablement. By yourself, you are not equal to the challenge, but through the power of God's indwelling spirit, you can accomplish great things. What God promises to Moses, He also promises to you. My presence will go with you and will give you rest. So think about that. Think about how God's presence can give us rest. Think about how awesome it is, guys, when we are in church, when we're in our prayer closet, when we're just meditating on God, and His presence is so strong where you're at that it's a place of peace. It's a place where you're not even thinking about anything else. It's a place of just rest. So think about that. Think about how that when we ask God things and we do things in God's timetable and His way, that He can just make those crooked paths straight. That He can just take and lighten our burdens. That He can be a blessing to us and allow us to be a blessing to others. Guess what, guys? When we start dedicating more and more of our life to God, when we start putting more and more effort into living a godly life, guess what? It'll become easier and easier and easier, and we'll be able to continue to live that godly life before people because guess what? We're already putting that effort in. And then not just before people, but knowing in our spirit and in ourselves that, hey, I'm right with God. When a way of a transgressor is hard, guys. A way of a transgressor is hard. If we're living half-heartedly, we're doing a little bit of things that are wrong and trying to also still be in the church and do this and do that. That's a hard life, guys. Trying to live two different ways. That's being it's been like almost like lukewarm. And I tell you what, that's hard. That's hard. If we consecrate ourselves to God, give Him our life, say, "Look, God, I'm yours. I'm going to follow after your way. I'm going to follow after your leading," and just let Him be your guidance. Let Him be the captain of your ship. Your life is a ship. Let Him be the captain. Let Him take control of your life. Let him go where let him let you go, lead you to where you need to go, and they'll make that journey so easy. Waking up with Him, going to bed with Him. I tell you what, He works out things so much for us as well. That we don't even ever deserve it, guys, but He does, and He's that good to us. But when you are when you in this season, brand new year, let's talk to God about it. We have something come up, let's talk to God about it. When we have situations, let's talk to God about it. When we have something that we're dreaming of, want to do, let's talk to God about it. All right, guys, love y'all.